What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Meshforce M3 router. The Meshforce M3 router is a home Wi-Fi system. It supports 802.11 AC dual band Wi-Fi, and this package includes the base router with two M3 dots which will connect via mesh. If you're not familiar with mesh systems, what happens is you have your main router and that connectivity will extend out to your other two devices. You're supposed to create a triangular type of connection pattern for your system to get the best range out of it. And you can connect as many dots as you need. So the formula for that is the number of dots times that many of dots minus 1 divided by 2. So if you had 5 mesh devices, you're looking at 10 network paths that device can take. So this mesh system would only have 3 paths that it can take to get your wireless internet running. So let's talk about the design. Out of the box, the Meshforce M3 router has a very nice looking riveted pattern on the top. I really do like what that looks like. When you take photos, it looks great. They took the opportunity to think about the design, where it's going to be placed in your house. You know, routers can look unappealing to some. Physically holding the router, it does feel very light. I question how much material was actually needed to develop the router, just because it looks a lot heavier than it feels. And you know, you're paying a lot for this device, so you really want that build quality to feel there. And holding it didn't really feel like that. So let's talk about the setup. The Meshforce M3 router is pretty easy to set up. Once you connect your WLAN to your modem, the router should just turn on. You do need to go into your network settings on your phone, connect to the default router that pops up, and then within the app, change the router's name and password and reconnect. I did struggle getting the app to recognize the router right away. I had to turn off and on my Wi-Fi and eventually disconnect my modem and router before reconnecting it, and the app was able to find the device. In all honesty, I can't have the best range test on this router because I was using it in my apartment. So I had the base router sitting there, and then I tried to create a triangular pattern throughout my apartment with one in the bedroom, one down the hallway towards the entrance of the apartment. Once I had things connected, I did 3 different speed tests. One where my phone was closest to the router itself, and I was getting my max amount of internet. It was even boosted a little bit, and when I moved over to the first dot, it also was getting pretty good internet. And I know my apartment has a dead spot. I tested that out to make sure that it covered the dead spot, but it seemed like there was still a lot of interference. I don't know what materials are in the walls, but you know, it's bathroom, so you got piping and tiles and everything else there. So that second dot, when I was standing by it, for whatever reason, I couldn't get even half of my internet speed. On average, it was giving me 20 megabyte download, which I should be getting 100. And I tried it a few times, tried it with fast.com and speedtest.com, and I had the same results. Not sure what was going on with that second dot, if it's dealing with interference, because it could be on the other wall next to a neighbor or something like that. You know, being in an apartment building, there's many Wi-Fi signals. Maybe it is that dot specifically. It's hard to really say unless it was tested in a different environment without so many Wi-Fi signal interruptions. So to speak a little bit on security, when you connect this router to your iPhone, you get a weak security alert. Apple tells me that this router is WPA/WPA2, and the TKIP is not considered secure. So ideally, it should be a WPA3. So overall, that is a big limitation for this router. You know, in this day and age, you definitely want the top security features, so it's not something that I would leave hooked up. Aside from that, I would say it is an easy setup process. It does seem to have good connection as far as speeds go. It's hard to say why that second dot had an issue. You know, it did have full Wi-Fi range, but its speed wasn't there. Plus, with the security issues that I saw, there are other routers out there that could handle this for a cheaper price. And you really need to know if you need mesh or not. You know, it should cover up to 2,500 square feet in your home. If you have dead zones, then a mesh system is probably what you're looking for. But there's certain things you have to look for when you're looking at your router, and one of those major things is the security aspect. You want to make sure everything is top-notch for the price you're paying, and that is not what the Meshforce M3 router is doing. So, appreciate the time you guys took out of your day to watch my video. I hope you learned something. I hope you found this valuable. Drop a comment, give me a like, and subscribe for more videos like this. If you have any questions, there should be a link to my Discord below. Reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video.